What's going on, everybody? Zyonik here, and in today's video we are jumping back into the Ultra League. Great League is now gone for Season 1 until the very end when all 3 leagues are back. But we are in the Ultra League right now. So we're bringing a fun team today. This is definitely not a cheap team, if I'm being honest. You got 100k unlocks on Articuno and Giratina Altered, but Swampert is fantastic in terms of cost effectiveness. Yes, you have to power it up a lot, but I definitely think he's very worth investing in if you have a Hydro Cannon one with some good PvP stats. Mine is very, very good in terms of PvP because I was able to save mine basically until December Community Day and then evolve it to make sure that I got a good Ultra League one. Now, we're in a interesting matchup right here versus a Psystrike Armored Mewtwo. First time seeing that in action, but he has a Registeel. And if you guys don't know already, Registeel is very good in Great League. We already know that. But it's also very, very strong in Ultra League. And if you don't have a hard counter for it, it's hard to get through him. So I still have my Swampert in the back, but he is going to put in a lot of work versus my Giratina here. All the moves that I have, besides my fast move of Shadow Claw, is going to be resisted versus this Registeel. So we're not going to be doing a lot there. And then on top of that, Articuno as well is going to be weak to Registeel while also being resisted. So I basically have to take this guy out with my Swampert, and he still has 2 shields. So things are not looking good for us. I probably should have gotten out of the fight earlier, but we're going to see the swap to Armored Mewtwo, and I'm going to go ahead and start farming for energy right here. Now, I'm going to hope that he doesn't have Rock Slide, and he's going to be using Psystrike, which he does, which is great for us. If he had that Rock Slide, it'd be really bad. Now, we're going to expect the Registeel to come back in right here. I'm hoping to get off an Icy Wind. If you guys didn't know, Articuno having Ice Shard, Icy Wind is fantastic. It automatically debuffs your opponent's attack by 1 stage, which is really, really awesome. So what I'm hoping to do here is I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go ahead and shield, and I want to get more debuffs on my opponent. But the thing is, he still has 2 shields, and I'm betting he has Giratina Altered in the back. Literally having to get through a Registeel and a Giratina Altered. Yep, there's the Giratina Altered. So we're going to go ahead and go for Hydro Cannon right here. On the swap, I wanted to definitely bring in the Swampert here, hoping to potentially get a shield, which we do. Now, I think that swap was probably not the best choice, seeing as I could have used Swampert to take out Registeel, so that was probably a mistake on my end right there. But, you know, you live and you learn. This is our first set in Ultra League, and we are going to go ahead and not win this game. Giratina Altered is going to be able to get to an Ancient Power right here, which is going to do super effective damage versus the Articuno. And that is going to be a good first battle right there. We're going to go ahead and move into Game 2 now. Now, we're in 2600s, mid-2600s in terms of our MMR rating. So still climbing a little bit. It's inching every single day, just a little bit of points. Now, this isn't the best lead for us. Poliwrath is fantastic in Ultra League if you guys are looking to invest in something more unique, not a starter, not a legendary. Poliwrath is a great choice right here. Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch is going to be fantastic, and as you guys can see, Dynamic Punch did a ton of damage. Now, what I'm hoping to do here is go for the Earthquake to either force the shield or get the health, and then I'm going to go straight into Articuno. I want to get ahead on energy. Now, I shouldn't have shielded right here. This was definitely a shield bait. It was Ice Punch, and now he's going to be able to get to a Dynamic Punch before we can get to the Icy Wind. This Dynamic Punch will be doing heavy neutral damage to us because of our Ice Flying type, as we see right there, and we're able to get off an Ice Shard or an Icy Wind right here. Now, I kind of wish I didn't pull the trigger on the Icy Wind and farm some more energy for the next Pokemon coming in, which is going to be Giratina Altered. So really interesting call by him, but he can get to an Ancient Power relatively quickly to take us out. But what I'm hoping to do is chunk his health, which we do right here. So we're sitting okay. I'm going to go ahead and shield, and it was an Ancient Power, and now I'm going to swap into my Swampert right here, and I'm going to try to go for an Earthquake. I really want to finish off the Giratina Altered right here, or just force his shield, so I think I'm actually going to opt to go for 2 Hydro Cannons. We see a Togekiss, however, come in, I believe, right here, so thankfully I went for the Hydro Cannon instead. It is a Togekiss, and then we aren't able to get to a second one because Charm just does so much damage. Now, we are ahead on energy, or not ahead on energy, but I think I can beat him to an Icy Wind before he gets to an Ancient Power. and we do get the Icy Wind right here. So this should hopefully eliminate a shield, which we do get his shield and we get him low. But man, this is going to be tough because we have Giratina Altered. Charm is going to be doing super effective damage to Giratina Altered. Ancient Power isn't going to do a lot to us, some decent neutral damage. But we are going to be able to farm down for energy. And his Giratina is relatively low, which is good. And we're ahead on energy, so we're going to be able to go for Dragon Claws right here. Basically, we need to use one to get his shield, and then use another to get him to basically no health right here. And he's very close to a Dragon Claw, but I think we can win out in terms of fast move damage right here. And we are going to be able to Shadow Claw him down, so that's going to be a good second game. Really tough one right there, especially with that losing lead. We were able to come back. And as you guys can see, I don't have a lot of wins in the Ultra League. All my PvP experience basically has been in Great League, so Ultra League is new to me, somewhat new. I did quite a bit in preseason. That's what a lot of those games were from. Game 3 right here. I believe this is another Poliwrath game, which is really tough, but we are going to be able to handle it relatively well. So same thing from game 2. Different opponent, but this time I'm still going to go for the Earthquake. I think I do, or maybe I go for the Hydro Cannon for the shield bait. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and let him hit me with a Dynamic Punch. That's okay. And then we're going to build up, and then we are going to go for the Earthquake right here. Again, I want to get health or shield, and then we're going to swap into Articuno. So we get the shield, which is great. Now we're going to swap into the Articuno, and he is going to decide to bail out, and he brings in a Steelix, which is okay for us as long as he doesn't have Heavy Slam, because Icy Wind and Ice Shard is going to be doing neutral. Steelix is a steel ground type, so that, you know, super effective to ground, resisted by steel, is going to be neutral. And we're going to go ahead and shield the first one. And he has Crunch, which tells me he has Crunch Earthquake. And we can actually win now without having to shield, because we are going to be able to just Icy Wind him down. And what my goal is right here is to basically finish off the Steelix with fast moves if I can, to get a ton of energy for that Poliwrath coming back in so we can debuff him. That's the goal. Articuno is fantastic at doing debuff. So as you guys can see, we're committing to a hard farm down right here. Now I am going to go for another Icy Wind. I think I could have committed more to the farm down, but I didn't want another Crunch to get me. And then we're going to go for an Icy Wind versus whatever is coming in. I'm guessing it's going to be the Poliwrath, but we'll see. It is going to be the Poliwrath, which is great for us. And now we're going to swap into Giratina Altered. Now, I swapped on the Dynamic Punch, hopefully, which it was. So it's going to be resisted because of our Ghost type. And then we're going to see a Cresselia come in. So this is going to be pretty good for us. We're sitting pretty well. Energy's gone on Poliwrath. We still have Swampert in the back. And our Articuno as well with a decent amount of health. Now, I tried to go for the boost right there. In terms of damage, we should be going for Dragon Claw versus this Cresselia, just because it costs a little bit less energy while still doing a decent amount of neutral damage. Cresselia is an absolute tank in the Ultra League. If you guys haven't faced it yet, or maybe you do have it, you guys know that Cresselia's thick. So it's a thick boy fight right now. Giratina Altered versus Cresselia. We're just going to be going for Dragon Claws right here, hoping to chip down. And now we're going to swap into our Articuno again. What I'm hoping to do is get ahead on energy. So I'm going to go ahead and shield right here. I'm hoping to get ahead on energy for the Poliwrath that might come back in. And we're just going to commit to the farm down, which it does. And I'm glad he decided to swap, because now we can put a debuff on the Poliwrath. Cresselia has a little bit of loaded energy in the back, but not enough. And we are going to be able to get the debuff on the Poliwrath here, which is what I wanted. Dynamic Punch coming through, going to be doing neutral, and we're going to be able to get to another Icy Wind. Again, debuffing the Poliwrath. Again, he can't switch out. He's locked in here. So all the damage coming from Poliwrath is going to do basically nothing right here. So we're sitting pretty good. He's going to have to finish us off with the charge move right here. And I don't think Ice Punch might be able to take us out from this range. We'll see. It does take us out, and I'm going to come right back in with Giratina Altered. And this game's actually going to stall out. You guys can see the timer at the top, 10 seconds left. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw right here, and then we're going to try to swap to Swampert, but they're going to get off a charge move, and because of a Cresselia versus Giratina Altered fight, the game times out and we win because of health. We still had Swampert in the back, so that is going to be a good third game right there. First tie out, basically, or timeout in Ultra League. I'm sure it's going to happen more often as we're going to see Pokemon like Cresselia, Giratina Altered, Snorlax. But we're going to go ahead and move into game 4 here. This team is pretty fun, but I'm noticing that Registeel really hurts this team, and Cloyster as well. This is like, oh, Cloyster's not looking too good for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to hope to shield bait right here. I'm going to go ahead and shield this first Icy Wind because I want him to think that I'm going to go for the Earthquake. By shielding, it makes him think that maybe I'm trying to go for the Earthquake, so I go for Hydro Cannon, and it worked out. So perfect for us. And now we're going to try to go for the Earthquake before he can get to another Icy Wind, before he gets another attack debuff on us. And then what we're going to do is swap to Articuno. So we get both shields, which is fantastic. We're going to swap to Articuno. We are going to get debuffed ourselves from the Icy Wind, but it's only going to do neutral damage because of our Ice Flying typing. So we're hoping we can get to an Ancient Power. I'm praying I can get to an Ancient Power before we get debuffed again, but he wins that CMP tire. I think he was just slightly ahead in terms of energy. So another Icy Wind is going to hit us. We're going to be able to get off the Ancient Power here. This is going to be doing super effective damage to a Cloyster because of the Ice typing, and maybe we get the boost. We do get the Articuno boost. So I'm going to go ahead and invest a shield right here. Again, we lose the CMP tie. I'm like, oh man, we're right there. We're going to go ahead and shield because I did get the boost. Hopefully this Ancient Power will finish off the Cloyster here, but we are double debuffed and it is able to finish him off. The next Pokemon coming in is going to be a Swampert, so hopefully we can get to Icy Wind. No, we can't get to it in time. He's going to be able to take us out here. Now, this fight is going to be really interesting, and I think this is the one where I make an error in decisions. I get way too greedy. We're going to go ahead and see a Giratina mirror. So what I'm hoping to do here is go for double Dragon Claw, hoping he uses some energy on me as well, and then I'm going to try to Earthquake the Giratina, or possibly Hydro Cannon if I can get it low enough, but I need him to dump some energy, but he doesn't, so I swap, and I'm hoping to go for an Earth or a Hydro Cannon right here, but I get way too greedy. So he's going to do one Dragon Claw, and this is where I made my miscalculation. I should have gone for Hydro Cannon right here, but I don't, and he gets off another Dragon Claw, so all of that energy that I had on Swampert is completely gone. So that sealed the fate on this game. Sometimes when you commit to farming down or trying to farm for more energy, you can get a bit greedy. And as you can see, he basically does what I wanted to do to him. I wanted to get him low enough for Swampert to be able to Earthquake. But man, sometimes games don't go your way and this happens. So really great play by my opponent in this mirror fight. Basically at the end, we're running similar teams of a Swampert Giratina and an Ice Shard Icy Wind. He had Cloyster, I had Articuno. So good game there. We're going to go ahead and move into game 4 now. So we're 2-2 in this series. Ultra League is definitely tough. I mean, it's a different meta. And we're going to talk more about the Ultra League meta this week. So look out for videos on that. Give you guys some suggestions when it comes to some of the best picks out there and some good cost-effective picks. Clefable is definitely one of the good picks out there, and we're going to instantly swap into our Articuno here, hoping to get out head on energy, which is fantastic because basically I think I can get to 2 Icy Winds versus this Alolan Muck, which is going to be really, really good for us because then we definitely don't have to shield anything. But he is going to get off a Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is going to do neutral. We're not going to shield, however. I need to save my shields for the back end, especially for that Swampert. And we're going to go ahead and get off another Icy Wind here. This is going to give the Alolan Muck another debuff, and then I think I can actually commit to the farm down right here, and I believe I don't need to shield as well. I don't think it's going to take us out. So we're going to commit to the farm down. We're going to risk it for the biscuit, and we do take out the Alolan Muck there. And we're going to go straight for Icy Wind on the Clefable coming in. This debuff is definitely going to help us out when we bring back in our Swampert because Charm is not going to do as much damage. Now we're in similar shields, I should say, but basically a reset of the fight. And I'm going to be able to go for Hydro Cannon right away. Clefable takes a little while to build up to its charge moves, having Meteor Mash and Psychic. But we're going to go ahead and shield right here. I do not want a charge move to hit me. It's going to be Meteor Mash. And now we're sitting pretty good. We're going to be able to outpace in terms of charge moves. So we're going to build up a little bit of extra energy. Go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon right here. We'll have to see what my opponent decides to do. It does decide to shield as well, which tells me he has something potentially weak in the back, and he does a fantastic swap on my charge move right here. I believe this is going to be a Poliwrath, so this is not looking too good. What I'm hoping to do is swap on the charge move, but he does well at holding it, not using the dynamic punch right there, but we're basically going to be having ice punches coming in. This is why Poliwrath is a great option that's not a community day move or a legendary, because it has a good move set with Mudshot as the fast move, dynamic punch, and ice punch for great coverage on the meta, right? You can pick up Registeel, you can pick up Swampert, you can pick up Giratina Altered. Giratina Altered, however, is a tough fight because ice punch isn't going to do enough, and it doesn't have that stab damage from a Poliwrath because it doesn't have that ice typing. So we're going to be able to finish off the Poliwrath right here, but we see a swap into Clefable, and we are going to be able to get to a Dragon Claw right here. This should finish off the Clefable. No, it doesn't. Definitely doesn't. But we're going to be able to swap into Swampert and go for Hydro Cannon right here. This will definitely be finishing off the Clefable. And then the Poliwrath will be coming back in with the charge move. But we're still sitting okay because we have our Giratina, which Shadow Claw will be able to finish off the Poliwrath as long as we don't lag right here. So we get a little bit of lag. And I'm like, please, come on. I just one Shadow Claw. All right, so we're able to finish it off. So really good battles there from my opponent's Ultra League is definitely looking to be a lot of fun. And we ended up going 3-2, climbing up a little bit of rating. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.